Hey everybody, this is Nate Leber at Leber Design and Print, back for another round of what I'm dubbing COVID Conversations. Today I have industry expert and guru Marshall Atkinson in with us. So what's up, Marshall, and how are you doing?
Hey Nate, I'm doing great. Unfortunately, the weather is really super nice today in Arizona. I was seeing some people in other parts of the country have snow. It's about 85 here, so
It's
I don't have
about,
to deal with that.
we don't have snow, but it's only about 50 here, so
Yeah, it's nice.
awesome. All right, man, are you ready to answer some questions?
Yeah, my old football coach used to say, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
That's right.
So I'm ready.
Absolutely. Okay. First and most open question, from your opinion of what is going on in the middle of this pandemic and everything else, how do you view this? What the heck is going on?
Well, it's a giant mess. So I've been asked this by tons of people over the last several weeks, as you can imagine. All I do is talk on the phone these days.
Yeah.
Everybody wants the silver bullet to get out of this. And what I'm going to tell you is there isn't one, right?
Sure.
So everybody's business is a little different because you have different skills and markets and customers and geographic locations and whatever, right? So I think the best thing to understand right now is that we are dealing with companies, your customers, everybody basically is in survival mode. Mm-hmm. So the thing that I've been advising people is that you need to think about if you were attending a funeral. If you're attending a funeral, this is what it feels like right now. We feel like we're all in a funeral. We're grieving because of health issues and loss of income issues, and we're not working issues and all that kind of stuff. We're grieving, we're uncertain, we don't know what's happening. It feels kind of like a funeral. So what I've been advising people to do is think about how you would sell if you were at a funeral, right? What would you be doing? Would you be going, hey, my thing's 25% off, come buy it right now, right? Because I see that.
Yeah.
Right? And so what's happening is people are looking at you like you got three heads because you're not helping. So what we need to be doing is leading with empathy, leading with answers. We need to be asking more questions, right? Yeah. You got two ears and one mouth for a reason, right? We need to be listening to our customers, and we need to be finding out what are their problems. And if we know what their problems are, right, maybe we have a solution, maybe we don't, but we know where they stand.
Right.
Also, they see you coming at them with a helping hand, leading with empathy, and that's going to go a really long way because this coronavirus thing is an event. Events have a beginning, a middle, and an end, right? And personally, I feel we're still not even halfway. We haven't, to me, it feels like we're not in the middle, right? I mean, don't you agree with that?
Yeah.
It's still going up, right? Eventually, it's going to get to wherever it's going to go, and we'll be on the downside, and hopefully that's sooner than later.
Right.
But to me, it feels like we're all still struggling like a roller coaster. It's going clankety, 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 clank, going up.
Yeah.
That's how I feel right now. That's why we're in this funeral mode, I think. And I'm not trying to make light of people, dying and stuff. It's just, it's the atmosphere that we are in, right? And so I think anybody that's trying to jump on opportunity and just be that guy or woman, right? You're seen as that opportunist that's selling at a funeral.
Right.
And people are going to come across at you and they're going to challenge you online. Right? So a lot of people right now are pivoting to the face mask, which makes total sense. You need to be careful.
Right.
Right? You need to be careful about what you're offering and that kind of stuff, because what will happen is you might be considered trying to benefit from this thing. Right. So I would be very wary about what you're doing. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it because it makes tons of sense. There's lots of opportunity right now with that. I'm just saying be careful. Make sure we've got clarity about what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
People are buying these masks and are selling them. Be looking at quality. Be looking at, are you doing them blank? Are you decorating them? What are you doing? What are the ramifications later on? We need to be thinking this thing through, because what we don't want to be is we don't want to be that guy or woman selling at the funeral and have it come bite us in the butt later.
Right.
So that's kind of the thing I've been talking about a lot lately, is that kind of viewpoint.
Cool, man. I love it. It's, it remains positive and also, keeps you in that helpful mindset instead of opportunistic. And so I think that's awesome.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, we need to be building goodwill. That's
right.
Kind of, if you've got anything that you want to be doing, it's anything that you can do to build goodwill, right, is where you should be right now. We can still be helpful. We can still take orders. We can still be decorating things. We still need to be making money.
Right.
Okay. I'm just saying, watch your butt.
Right. And approach it the right way. Any of the things you can do, but it has to be approached correctly. And so I think that's killer advice. So a lot of people and a lot of companies and everything else, because we can't have a lot of face-to-face stuff, there's all this information all of a sudden, this big just boom of it on the internet, of people, webinars and training and classes and courses and meetings, and there's all this stuff. What stuff have you seen so far or partaken in? And out of like some of the things, like what do you like the most? Like what are some that have been of the greatest value for you?
Well, I'm a content generator and less of a content consumer.
Right.
So, but I do pay attention to things. And what I'm looking for is facts. I don't want to hear somebody's commentary. I don't want to hear their opinion, because a lot of times it's political finger pointing one way or the other. That's not helping me. And I don't want to get involved in that personally. There's a lot of negativity and there's a lot of finger pointing and there's a lot of, frankly, I'm just going to call it noise out there. So what I'm looking for is things that can help me. And there are plenty of resources for this that don't go down that twisted path. One is there's a consulting company that is huge with lots of resources called McKinsey & Company. You may have heard of them. They are publishing daily best practices and intellectual things about what's going on and how businesses are coping and different ideas and that kind of stuff. I'm consuming that like a I don't know, a stranded prisoner on an island with no food. I read everything they publish. I'm also looking at statistics and stats. And what I'm looking for more than anything is just the raw data. I don't need somebody to interpret it for me.
Right.
I think I'm smart enough to figure out things. So I'm just looking for the data, and I go online for that. I can't remember the website, I'm sorry, that I'm looking at, but maybe I'll throw that in later. But I just want to see the numbers. What I'm looking for is the canary in the coal mine, all clear signal.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know when that's going to be. And frankly, it's not going to be soon enough. But I don't trust things right now. And so I want to make up my own opinion on things. But one of the number one things that I'm doing more than anything is I'm calling people up and I'm talking to them, and I'm doing what's called leading with empathy. I'm talking to people who are not my clients, who are not my customers, who are in this industry. These are industry suppliers. These are shops. These are other businesses. I just got off a phone 10 minutes ago with a buddy of mine from college who's in real estate, right? Talking about what they're doing and how they're running their business and that kind of stuff. And we're sharing ideas, right? That's not t-shirt decorated apparel specific, right? But it's given me information I didn't have because they're reacting to what's going on differently. So what I'm trying to get people real world, street level stuff. What are you doing? What are you seeing? How can I help? This is the number one thing I think people need to be doing, is spending some time making one phone call a day or two or three or whatever you have time for, right? sometimes it's hard to get a hold of people because they're in their quarantine castle, right?
Yeah.
They're not answering the phone, or they've let their whole staff go, and all they're doing is they're printing all their
Yeah.
orders right now by themselves, right? People are, they're managing the situation the best they can.
Yeah.
So maybe you leave a message, and maybe you're talking at 6 o'clock at night. But I'm spending a lot of time on the phone gathering my facts and my data, and this is allowing me to get a nationwide view of what's really happening in the world. I am not relying on Facebook. In fact, you see me on Facebook, I post an answer every once in a while. I'm on there for maybe 10, maybe 15, 20 minutes a day, and that's it, because basically I can't stomach it.
Yeah.
So it's very limited. It's a hit and run, and then I'm out, right? Yeah. What I'm trying to do is spend 30 minutes or an hour on the phone with somebody talking.
Yeah.
That's way more valuable to me. It's leading with empathy, and it's giving me the facts that I need to support decisions that I might be making or advising people for in the future, because I have real information that somebody shared with me.
Awesome. You're building real relationships then, not just firing off on social media.
Yes, right.
Awesome. So last question. What resources do you have available, and do you have anything like specific for, right now with what's going on, and what are the best ways that people can reach out to you?
Yeah, well, thanks. So currently there's a couple things. So I have a blog that I write every Saturday. Hopefully you're a reader, right? If you're
Dude, I've been reading that thing from the beginning.
Right. And so it's at AtkinsonT-shirt.com, ATKINSON t-shirt with no hyphen.com. And just click on the menu and you see blog. I write and publish every single Saturday. And since this thing broke, there's a new thing that I'm publishing about some idea that I have.
Yeah. These
articles are based on those conversations that I just talked about. I'm not pulling this stuff out of my butt.
Right.
This is stuff that I'm talking to people. I'm hearing what's working. I'm trying to share and disseminate information that people can use to run their business or make their life better, or to be thinking about 2 or 3 months down the road, which is where your business entrepreneur brain needs to be living anyway. Right? We can't be focusing on today.
Right.
Right now, we need to be thinking 6 to 8 to 10 weeks down the road. What are we doing? What are our what if scenarios? So my blog is really focused on that.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you read my blogs, right? What has been some takeaways that you've enjoyed?
Oh man. Okay. So the first thing that, like, by far, when I think about your blog that stood out to me and got me really excited is when I really started getting into management. Because you can find a lot of articles and stuff out there on the technicalities of screen printing, which is great. We all need to know about the craft that we do. But you talked about bigger things, about leadership, managing, growing teams, and how to develop that, how to develop systems within companies. And especially for me, at the time that I first found out about who you were, I was trying to do that within a company and had never done it before at that time. So it was just a wealth of knowledge, because you were just kind of talking about things that really nobody else was talking about, because everyone was talking about technical things versus all these other things, which matter just as much, if maybe not even more sometimes. I mean, that's by far my number one from your stuff, is you talk about the things nobody else talked about. And then, certainly sales too. You guys talk about sales, especially with you and Tom, and getting over to the Shirt Lab side, talk about sales and marketing, which is another thing that up until the last couple of years, people weren't talking about nearly as much. And now, because of you guys, people are starting to talk about that a lot more. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't.
That's a great segue, Nate, to my second part of the answer, which is the Shirt Lab Summit that's coming up. So if you haven't heard about this, what Tom and I are doing is we're trying to lead with empathy. We're trying to create something that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So our normal Shirt Lab is an event. We've had them in different cities around the country. It's a live event. It's half networking, half information that you can use. But right now, everybody's in lockdown mode and nobody's going to be going anywhere anytime soon, we postponed our Chicago event. We haven't set a new date yet, so it's just out there hanging. But so what we wanted to do was to do something in June. So what we've done is we've created a new thing called Shirt Lab Summit. And what we've done is we've got over 30 of the top people in this industry and kind of in promo and kind of in marketing and kind of in sales and kind of in other things. We've interviewed them kind of like what we're doing here. And we're going to be doing a 3-day event. And you can binge watch just like Tiger King on Netflix, right? You can binge watch these. Day 1 is going to be about sales. Day 2 is going to be about marketing. Day 3 is going to be about running your shop. This is June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay. Right now, we're building the website and we're doing all the magic to make it happen. So there's a sign up thing. It's at shirtlabsummit.com. Go and register. You're going to have to register to participate. It isn't just something you can click on. You have to register. And what it's going to be is 100% free. So there's 3 days. However, there's bonus material and all types of other goodies that you can upgrade for. So for instance, you can watch for free, but if you want to watch these videos 3 months from now, you're going to have to pay for that, right? And then we're also giving every single interview transcribed. We're also getting downloadable audio. So if you want to listen to that interview with Mark Coudray or somebody later while you're running or working out, you can download these MP3 files, right? And then we're also getting notes, and all the speakers, but most of the speakers have bonus content where they have one extra question that's going to be behind the upgrade, right? So you can listen for free and do all you want just by registering, but if you want to upgrade a little bit, you can get all this stuff. And it's going to be a small nominal fee before the event, and then during the event and after, it's going to be a little more. We haven't worked everything out, honestly, about the pricing. So as soon as our webpage launches, that's registration, that sign up is going to have more in detail about what we're doing. This isn't a free thing for me and Tom to build. It's actually costing us some money. So that order thing is going to help us offset that cost. That's the reason why we're doing it. So that's June 1st through the 3rd, shirtlabsummit.com. I think you'll find some just amazing folks. There's lots of information. It's basically a who's who of people, and it's going to be lots of fun. This could be somewhere between 30 and about 36 speakers. We're still interviewing people. So, we're doing that the rest of this month, and then May we're doing all the editing. So it's just a lot of work, frankly.
I would think. That's incredible.
So that's that. And then we're still doing our Shirt Lab live event. Fingers crossed. That in Dallas, October 2 and 3. Hopefully by then we'll be able to get on a plane, right? I'm praying like you don't even know. So, and you can go to shirtlablive.com and register for that, but that's kind of at a pause right now, I guess is the way to put it, right? Let's see what else. And then the last thing, Nate, is that every Friday right now, Alan Howe with Easyway and I are doing a question and answer live event on my Atkinson Consulting Facebook page. That's at noon Eastern time on Fridays, every Friday. So you can go and join in. It's all comment and question driven. We have a couple of prepared things. We're just trying to give back and do some stuff. It's 100% free. Just join in on the fun and ask some questions. You can see replays, of course, at my Atkinson Consulting page. And I just uploaded them to my YouTube channel because my 16-year-old son was giving me crap about how come I didn't have anything on YouTube.
Yep.
So I'm taking my cues from him.
Yeah.
So thank you, Jack, for helping me out. By the way, he wants to manage my YouTube page. Maybe I'll let him. But
Hey.
anyway, so those are a couple of things that's going on with me. I am here for you. If you need some help, things are crazy, you're confused, I want to help you out. Yeah. You can contact me at marshall@marshallatkinson.com, and you can let's find out and discover how I can help. Right now, I'm all about just helping people. Of course, I want to make money and do things just like everybody, but I recognize what's going on right now. I would rather help people through this crazy phase right now. And if you want to become a coaching client of mine, you can go on to my webpage. You can see what I charge. Right now, I'm just really trying to help. Yeah. I recognize the fact that people's sales are in the dumpster fire right now, and we can't afford it. But I want to be a helper. I want to help you, anybody through this. You need some guidance. You need somebody to bounce an idea off of for a couple minutes. Let's reach out and let's connect.
Awesome, Marshall. That is great. And I thank you so much for just taking a few minutes out, because obviously you have an extremely full plate. But yeah, thanks for sharing that and your time. And I'll be sure to get all your websites listed in the description for the video as well.
Thanks. So can I ask you a question, Nate, just to turn the tables on you?
Ask me whatever you want.
What is your number one thing you're struggling with right now?
I think the number one thing I'm struggling with is trying to figure out how to keep my team focused on what to do, even just day to day, because obviously we don't have the normal work, but also trying to get them to think of it on their own, because I don't want to micromanage people. I want them to be able to look at the company as a whole on their own and understand, here's what's important, here's what needs done, and just give them little tidbits of information to have them formulate their own ideas. And so trying to find that middle ground of the leadership where I'm not micromanaging and yet I'm not, having to tell them every step, and yet they're not wandering around aimlessly too. So finding the middle ground of leadership.
Okay, that's very interesting. So do you want some advice?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so what I would do is I would have some very clear and open conversations with them about what the future looks like.
Yeah.
And there's a really great quote from Wayne Gretzky, right? Which is good hockey players skate with the puck, but great hockey players skate where the puck is going to be. Mm-hmm. And I think right now we need to understand that our business world and everything we're doing is changing. And the fact that orders are coming in, not as frequently as it used to be, or there's different things going on. So what we want to be doing is we want to be kind of forward thinking with things. So what I would be doing is leading with clarity, is kind of understanding, getting them to help you with that. Mm-hmm. What are they good at? What are they interested in? How do they see things? How can they help? Your printer might also come up with a really great Facebook video mm-hmm. idea, right? That type of stuff. And really kind of thinking about where we are right now, right? And then where do we need to be 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 10 weeks from now? Mm-hmm. And talk about this stuff. And then with a lot of what ifs. What if this happens? What if this happens? What if that happens? And then also, what can we do right now to be more valuable to our?
Yeah.
Help me articulate that from your point of view. Mm-hmm. And then let's put everything down. If you have a whiteboard session is really great with this. If you don't, just whip out a yellow legal pad, right? And start brainstorming on some stuff. There's a really great technique that's from the book Traction by Gino Wickman. I don't know if you've read that.
Yep.
Which is called IDS, which is Identify, Discuss, Solve. So what we want to do in brainstorming is identify all the possibilities. What are they? Which is a giant list of stuff, right? Let's say there's 30 things on the whiteboard, and then let's look at them and discuss each one. Well, a couple of these are kind of the same. This one, there's no way we can do, but it requires $10,000,
Right.
whatever. Let's rule some things out. And then what we can do is, of what's left, we can combine, we can discard what's left. Let's prioritize what we can do. We've got a list of, let's say, 10 actionable things. Okay, here's 10. Okay, what can you do? What can you do? What can you do? And then let's put some dates to them, right? And then now we have everybody involved, we have everybody understanding where we need to go, and we've created an action plan with dates about what needs to happen. And then it's just as simple as rinse and repeat this process as we go and move through this crisis.
Awesome. Good stuff, man. It's sparking ideas in my mind already. I'm already thinking, okay, here's what I'm going to do. So,
that's
awesome.
great.
Thank you for that. And once again, thank you for your time. And I'll make sure to have all your contact information, your websites listed so people know how to reach out to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the opportunity today, Nate. I really appreciate it. Thanks.